Yes sir, what is going on YouTube? It is your boy Denali, aka Don Squally. Just leaving the office. Just kidding, I don't work in an office. It is currently 5 degrees here in beautiful Toronto, Canada, but when it's been minus 20 for the last 2 months, well, it's t-shirt weather, man. But in today's video, I wanted to touch on a subject that has been brought up a few times since I bought this car, and that is, why did I buy a 2001 Acura CL? Now, obviously, there are a few reasons, and in today's video, I'm gonna go over those reasons and maybe shed a little bit of light for all of my Nissan guys out there as to why exactly did I buy this car. So for those of you guys who know, I bought this CL Type S about 2-3 weeks ago now, and it's been great actually. I've done a little bit of maintenance, oil change. You guys saw the video of the transmission fluid change that I did, and since then the car's been really nice. It's comfortable, quiet, which is a nice change compared to the Sentra and the G35. But the first reason that I ended up buying this car, or even considering it, is the price. Now, I found this thing online, $3,500. You guys know in the first video I made of this car, turn the seat heater down a bit, I ended up talking the guy down to $3 grand, which a lot of people seem to think I overpaid for it, but in reality, I got $3,200 from the insurance company for the Sentra. So in my eyes, I was pretty much, you know, definitely upgrading. This car is much more comfortable than the Sentra was, and in my opinion, I thought $3 grand was a pretty decent deal. Now, obviously, this thing did need a little bit of work in order to get it on the road, which I really was not anticipating having to spend. So that kind of sucked, but I mean, the price for $3,000, I figured I got $3,200 for the Sentra, pay $3 grand for the Acura, and you know, in my opinion, I thought it was a pretty good deal. I thought it was definitely an upgrade. So reason number one was definitely the price. Now, I looked online, these cars going from anywhere between, I don't know, $5,000 to $1,500 depending on the price, but it is a relatively rare car. Not too many of these CLs, not a TL, not too many of these CLs were, you know, made. So to me, I thought it was definitely worth the money. Now, the second reason I even considered buying this car was because of the condition and the mileage. Now, this thing, when I bought it, had 135,000 kilometers on it, which for my American homies is right around 80,000 miles. Now, I went and checked this car out. Now, it did have a little bit of rust on the subframe, but everything else was clean, clean, clean. The body on this thing, not a speck of rust. Rockers on this thing, absolutely mint. The underside of this car, just beautiful. Looked like it had been undercoated quite a few times by the previous owners. So I was impressed with the condition and the kilometers slash miles that were on this thing. So that's definitely reason number two that I would even consider buying this car. Number three, a lot of you guys are probably not gonna like this reason, but I bought this car for the automatic transmission. Now, back when I got the Sentra, I figured, oh, having a, you know, manual daily would be cool. I drive about an hour each way into work. It's about 75, 80 kilometers one way. So my drive is like 2 hours pretty much every single day. And I thought having a manual car would be kind of cool, you know, keep me, you know, in the loop and not really get too rusty as far as driving a standard goes. But in the 2 months that I had the Sentra, I realized that for a daily driver, as lame as it may sound coming from a car guy, an automatic was just something that my next car had to have. So when I considered this car, found it online, having an automatic transmission, you know, that was definitely a selling point on this car. Now, had this been a car that I was going to use on weekends or even take racing, I would have definitely wanted a manual transmission. But for a daily driver, the automatic transmission, that was definitely a big selling point with me buying this car. Now, the fourth reason that I ended up buying this car is because of the luxury and, you know, just the quietness, the leather seats, everything that this car has to offer. Now, after I had the accident with the Sentra, I ended up getting a rental car, which was I think a 2016 or 2017 Hyundai Sonata, which typically would not be up my alley, but I gotta tell you, it had leather, heated steering wheel, it was quiet, automatic, it was just a pleasure to drive. And I realized that, you know, for a daily driver that I'm driving that much, I'm really not into having like a loud car. The leather seats was a nice touch. Unfortunately, this car doesn't have a heated steering wheel, but it was definitely nice to have in the rental. So when I was looking for a new daily / replacement for the Sentra, one of my criterias was that it had to be a luxury car, nice, smooth steering, quiet, no exhaust modifications made to it, leather seats, sunroof, which this car pretty much has everything except for the heated steering wheel. So that was definitely a big must-have for me and the new daily. And of course, last but not least, reason number 5 for me buying this car, despite all of the horror stories that I've heard about these automatic transmissions, reason number 5, not 4, 5, that I ended up buying this car was for the Honda reliability, man. Now, this was a big reason to why I didn't go with Nissans. Now, my Nissans have always treated me well. They have been reliable, but I'm gonna be honest, when it comes to the reliability chart, it goes Toyota, Honda, and then Nissan. Now, Toyotas didn't really interest me too much. There was no cars that I really liked that were super luxurious. I mean, the Avalons were kind of cool. Looked at a couple of Celeras online, and you know, it just, Acura / Honda seemed to be a nice mix of reliability and style, class, which is a big reason that I ended up buying this car. My girlfriend has had a 08 Honda Civic since we've met, and really the only thing I've done on it was a transmission sensor. Some of you OGs would have seen that video back in the day. So I changed the transmission sensor, obviously brakes, and the starter went out too, and that is absolutely everything that she has done to that car. And now it has like 280,000 kilometers. So I said to myself, you know what, I need to get myself a Honda for that Honda reliability. Now, I did test drive, I test drove probably 10 cars. Where I live, like I say, I live pretty much an hour north of the city now, and for me to drive and look at cars, I was looking at anywhere between a half an hour to like an hour in any direction to go look at cars. I looked at maybe 3 or 4 Altimas, 2.5s and a couple 3.5s. Test drove a Nissan Frontier, Nissan Xterra, also test drove a G35 sedan, and you know, none of them really, there was always, each car had something that was kind of just not right that I wasn't really into. And when I went and looked at this car, the condition was great, the price was right, and you know, it just seemed like a really good buy at the time. Now, like I say, despite the issues that people have been experiencing with the transmissions, I'm gonna keep up with the maintenance on this thing transmission wise. I think I'm gonna do the transmission fluid change every second oil change, so I'm hoping that keeps this thing shifting smooth and running great. And if I can get anywhere over 200,000 kilometers on this thing, I'll be happy. Now, I'll probably have to do the timing belt at around 160,000 kilometers. The owner's manual says 100,000 miles. So we're getting up to that. Probably within the next month, I will have to do that. So I may do a how-to video on exactly how to do that if it seems like something that I'll be able to do relatively easy. But I hope this brought some clarity. I know a lot of my Nissan guys were like, why didn't you consider buying another Altima, another G35? And really the main reason was that Honda reliability, man. But I know this car is not really everybody's cup of tea. I know a lot of you guys on the channel were subscribed because of the Nissans that I own, which this is not. But nonetheless, it is a car that I will be featuring a lot on the channel. So it really mean a lot, even if you guys aren't into this build and aren't into this car in particular. It would mean a lot if you guys could at least smash that like button so your boy can get a few more views than we normally would if you guys didn't. But those are pretty much all the reasons that I ended up buying this car. I just wanted to make this video, throw it out there, throw some clarity out, because I know a lot of guys were wondering, why would you buy a Honda or an Acura when you are a Nissan guy? So with that being said, I'm thinking we're probably gonna put an end to this video. We're coming into a little bit of traffic, so things probably aren't gonna be interesting passing me by here. But as always, if you guys did enjoy this one, don't forget to smash that like button. If you guys are not subscribed yet, definitely do so. Also, don't forget to check out SoCal G-Man. Regardless of what car I have owned, they have always been supportive of myself and the channel, man. So definitely show the people that support us, you know, a little bit of love, man. Check out the Instagram. And if you guys are interested in any merchandise, man, definitely check the website. They got some really dope hoodies, some nice t-shirts, lanyards, a bunch of new gear on there. So definitely check them out. But with that being said, I am your boy Denali, aka Don Squally. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. And as always, we gonna catch y'all mofos at the next one, man. Peace.